I'm gonna go ahead and hit record and welcome everybody to the first Edmondson Heights Community Civics Association meeting of 2023. I want to welcome everybody. I'm glad to see everybody is back and healthy and safe, or at least safe. Pray for your health. I hope everybody's Christmas, Kwanzaa, New Year was good. I think the New Year around here was pretty good. The fireworks and they weren't as bad as I expected them to be. So I think we just got lucky on that. I wanted to remind everybody if you need to remind your neighbor that these meetings, we do put them on YouTube. We have about 60 people that view. So I figure at least, 55 of those are people who aren't in the meeting, and we wish they could be here, but they get to participate anyway. And we do have people who go back and rewatch and send me emails about different topics and different issues, which is always good. So hi to YouTube land. I want to, first on my list, well, I guess acknowledging YouTube was the first. Second thing on my list is to congratulate Senator Charles Sidnor III, County Councilman Pat Young, Delegate Sheila Ruth, Delegate-elect Alethea McCaskill, and Robin Harvey, who is Vice President of the school board. Thank you all. We have Delegate McCaskill right here with us tonight, but we also have, I think I sent you guys an email about her soiree the celebration of her inauguration on the 14th. I think that is next Saturday from 2 to 6 o'clock. She said everybody was welcome, so I say show up. But no, don't just show up. Let me
3 to 6, 3 to 6, 3 to 6.
3 to 6. I am putting the link to get tickets in the chat. Look at me, I was prepared tonight. So congratulations to you. We are very happy to see that our votes counted, and we look forward to working with you more, the whole team, in the future. I have, let me see, I don't know if she is here, but I also have, Shauna, are you here? Because I can wait. I can acknowledge our, let me see where you are. We have Officer Benz Clark here. We have Officer Alicia Helfenstein. I wanted to make sure, let me see who else, to acknowledge you guys and let you guys know to just jump in where you need to if you have something for us. Following up on that, I will say that last week we discussed that there were potential non-homeowners or renters in the 1184 St. Agnes house. That is true. They should not be there. I have sent, I've sent emails, I've sent letters, I sent it to, specifically, I heard back from the orphans court, who the property, what to do with the property goes to orphans court in the next 2 weeks, I think. I think it's this week, but I know it's in the next few weeks. We are kind of, actually it's kind of not ours to deal with. They're not squatting on ours. So we'll, on our property. So we'll let the homeowners take care of that and see if there's anything that we can do or help them with. But for the most part, I just care, not just care, but that there's no electrical issues, anything that can kind of affect the rest of us somewhere down the line. Wanted to say that I did get in touch with our esteemed police officers about having speed trailers added to Harwell and Granville, and they are on it. They are doing what their part is. So
Yes, I have requested it. It goes to different areas. So when it's finished where it is, it may be in your area next. It just go by the time that it was requested.
Okay, that'll work. Thank you. We had I think it was last week, an accident from someone ran the stop sign at Forest Park coming down Harwell, and it was a nice big pretty truck that got knocked on his butt. So but they had to kind of pull it over, and well, I guess they didn't have a choice because they were hit from the left. So they could only make rights at that point. So there is that. There is also I got a message saying that Solomon's Termite and Pest Control have come around twice for rat extermination in the Edmondson Heights neighborhood. They've verified that they've marked the properties that were treated in red, and those have been cleared are marked in yellow. I haven't seen either of those, but I'll keep my eyes open. And maybe they did Clare Ridge and Clare Ridge and Langford, but that's where the biggest problem seemed to be last month that we were hearing about. I think I am through my list here. Another thing I wanted to, did anyone see the wreaths on the Edmondson Heights signs that day?
Yes, I did see the wreaths on the sign.
Yeah, if you blinked, you missed them. There were, we bought 4 wreaths to be put, 2 on each, no, 6 wreaths, 2 on each side, each Edmondson Heights sign. There is 1 left. They were gone before they were up a week. So yeah, that was kind of heartbreaking. Not kind of heartbreaking, that was very heartbreaking. Along with, before that, there was I think a balloon Olaf missing from someone's yard. That was very early in the decorating season. So I think there'll always be those people. Next year, hopefully it won't be, this is why we can't have nice things and we don't do it again. I think they had to come really prepared to take those down, because the one that's left, I figured I'll just take it down. And there was no way I was going to take that down. It would have taken a lot of work. They were up there pretty good. So yeah, there is, I kind of sort of got us an attorney. Wait a minute, going back. Yes, Ms. Bronzella.
Back to the rat situation. I was watching the guy come down the back alley. He wasn't checking anything. He was just hanging the tape on. He was done in 2 seconds.
Really?
Yes. He put yellow tape on everybody's yard, and I know half their yards shouldn't have had yellow tape. They weren't checking at all. He was just walking, putting the tape, and keep on going.
This is between Langford.
Okay.
That's on Langford and Kirkwood in that alley, the 1400 block.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, he wasn't even doing the minimum.
Nope, he sure wasn't. I could have done that.
Okay.
He wasn't checking nothing.
Okay. I'll report it.
And we're never going to get rid of the rats if people don't stop putting white plastic bags in the alley for 3 days.
Yeah, and especially these past few weeks with the schedule being off, just really being off. I just looked about an hour ago and I saw that there are like locks you can put on your trash can, but then I looked up the price of trash cans and I mean, okay. Trash cans cost, but I'm hoping to not necessarily come up with a solution because you can't force everyone to have a trash can. I can't buy everyone a trash can. I can't do that. But there is the intention of sending out literature from the county about how to just do better with the trash. And I think maybe we should, as neighbors, kind of keep an eye on it and report it. Yeah, and report it and to 311 and something can be sent to them and then, so, or send me the email, send me the property address and I'll ask them to come out and, at least send a warning or I'll send a letter. I don't know. Whatever happens to be good at the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
While you're dealing with me, can I say one more thing?
Go for it.
I live on Langford, okay? We have a couple of rental homes, which is fine. But we have one in particular. It's about 15 people living in the house. They have 10 cars. Some of the cars don't have current tags on them. And we have elderly people living on the street that can't park. Now people are putting cones out. I mean, the house is trash. They have trashed this rental home. Is there any way that Edmondson Heights can get in touch with the owner of the house?
Yep.
And make them clean it up because it's pulling our property way down.
Yep. Text me the property address and
Yeah.
I'll find the homeowner.
I mean, something's got to be done. It's horrible. It's not just bad, it's horrible.
Okay.
And send me the address, Jaquista, and I'll see about the cones and stuff they're putting in the street.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, they're not putting the cones in the street. It's the elderly people
The
that have to
homeowners.
go out, putting the cones in the street so they can have a parking space. Because the Mexicans, they park their cars or trucks there and, it's just unbelievable. 10 cars, that's ridiculous. In one household.
How many people can live in one home in Edmondson Heights?
I don't know. Good question.
There's only 3 bedrooms. I mean, it's men, women, children. It's bringing our neighborhood down bad and the condition of the house is worse.
I did look
let's-
up. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, to go back to the cars, you said the tags on the cars are, have expired.
Some of them, yes.
Some of them, the officers can check the tags to
Well, I'll
see
be
if
honest
they,
with you. I've called
uh-huh,
and by the time the officer has a chance to come, they sometimes have already left. So they
okay,
can't keep coming every 5 minutes looking for them. I understand that they're busy, but
right.
to have a house that's a rental home that they're not even taking care of, to have 10 cars is a little absurd.
Yeah. So you can't say how many people can live in a home. However, if there is a rental property, and there's a lease agreement, the owner has authority to have specifications in the lease agreement as to who can dwell in the home. So that's the biggest issue of whether or not there is some kind of stipulation in the lease of how many people can or who should be dwelling in the home. Yeah.
But
And
Edmondson
then
Heights-
whether or not they conduct inspections or not is another one thing. And then as far as there is code enforcement, if their house is trashed or, there is some upkeep that needs to be done on the home, especially if it's causing some kind of safety hazard, with the property.
Is there trash on the outside?
Yes, in the front.
It's the same house that we're looking for the storm door.
Gotcha. The one, okay. Okay.
I'll text you the address afterwards, okay?
Okay, is this the one you asked about, if something about if it could become a multifamily property?
No, that's next door to me, directly next door to me. That's 1453, where they have an apartment in the basement and upstairs, but no one is in that yet.
Okay,
And then the next house is where the trash is and the multi-cars. That's 51.
okay.
Subletting.
I'm sorry?
Mm.
Okay.
So they could be subletting that house, regardless of what the lease agreement is.
Okay. I'll check with, let's see, 1453 is not occupied yet.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Because I did look it up and that we are not zoned for multifamily homes. I think I looked it up. I'm
Yeah, I
pretty
was gonna
sure.
ask that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure I looked it up. It's been a long month. The other thing is,
Have any complaints already been put out for code enforcement?
you're breaking up, but sorry, parking. Wait a minute. Oh, it's me who has bad internet. My bad. So yes, in the chat it says call the police for expired tags. That is true. Or a lot of people, some people go through me and I send an email out. Either one is fine. If you do it yourself, then that would be nice. But I think you were asking if code enforcement has been contacted about this property. Miss Nancy has, and Miss Bronzella, has anyone called on this property?
Yes. I have.
Okay.
They used to have chickens in the yard.
I hear a lot about this one.
But my main thing is they don't care because they don't own the house. They're probably not even giving the homeowner the notice. My question is, I've lived around here a long time, since 68. If we had one little freckle out of the way, boy, we got in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
seriously. And it was a beautiful neighborhood. Well, this kind of stuff on our street has pulled our street down tremendously.
Yeah,
And I don't think it's fair to the homeowners. I
it
just
is
don't.
not. I agree. It's not.
If someone
Um,
could get in touch with the homeowner and make them clean it up, I don't care who the people are. They don't own the home. They don't care what condition it's in.
So, Jaquita, if you don't mind, if you could send whatever the property of the complaint is, sometimes when you call or send a complaint from a legislative office, that strikes the attention of specific folks of, okay, we have, and so what Sheila Charles and I can do is do a call on a complaint for the property itself and let them know that we have, several constituent concerns in reference to the specific property, and just get some immediate follow-up. Have you all had any follow-up in reference to this property?
I think there was the chickens. I did hear about the chickens. But we can have chickens. So
No, we can't. You have to have an acre of ground.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It was what it said that we could have it. And yeah, you're right.
Y'all really wanted them chickens in the neighborhood too. I thought it was a great idea.
You
Michael.
did? Really? For real?
Michael, if they don't kill rats, what's the problem? Well, I mean, why? There's some
Well,
rat
that's gonna
killing
attract the
chickens.
rats,
I
depending
think
on.
the issue,
Yeah.
I think the issue is that the eggs are up to $3.59 for a dozen of them. We're supposed to go back down after the first quarter. So we have 2 more months or 3 full months before we'll see that. But you
So
know.
if they share the eggs, it might be a little bit better.
I don't know if they still have them. They might be in the house now, but
I don't know.
chicken poop is going to draw lots of rats.
Yeah.
The,
True.
the wise thing to do is Costco actually has 5 dozen eggs for $10 or $11. And that's where we're going to on Saturday. Yeah,
Okay.
we 5 cardboard pieces ready to put the eggs into. So
Okay. There you go. I did hear that some people do have their own, they recycle the boxes. Alvette, you got the floor.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to ask, has anyone noticed any Airbnb setups in the neighborhood other than the one I have beside me? That draws, of course, a lot of traffic. And it's not they're not renting by the house, they're renting the rooms, the bedrooms. And so, the people, they come from out of town, they leave trash bags, it blows all over the place. I'm going to say probably about 2 weeks before Christmas, I heard somebody screaming in the house next door, and I couldn't get my phone together quick enough on the charge and the tape all of it. But I called my daughter, and she's like, well, Mom, are you going to call the police? And I kept saying, do you hear that? Do you hear that? And at first I thought the person was either being violated, or that's how loud it was. The bathroom was on the wall of my bedroom, or did they kill somebody? That's what it sounded like. My adult children and I, we were trying to figure out, like, okay, what kind of scream is this?
Okay.
And so, and that went on through the night. I mean, the person went to another room, so they must have been in the house by themselves. But I contacted the guy. It's a rental property. And I contacted the guy who's renting the property. He's subleasing it. So he says, I'm renting it to traveling nurses, which I told him was a lie. It was a lie. So I actually called the license board to ask them, because you have to get a license for rental property. They said that the company that previously owned the home, that rental license was under their name, not under the current real estate company's name. And they said, oh, and it's going to expire like February or March of this year. So the people that, I forgot the name of the company that was out of Pennsylvania, they previously owned the home. They have a license, a rental license on file, but not this current one.
So I wonder if it's possible, because you remember we looked it up and he was listed as a rental agent. So I wonder if he's the rental agent renting the property.
No, this guy, I think, lived in a neighborhood at one time. I mean, he was trying to, telling me, oh, well, we currently work out of town, so we're subleasing this to visiting nurses. I'm like, no, everybody that comes in is visiting nurses. It's like some people come for a night, some people will stay a couple of days, some people come for a couple of hours for whatever reason.
Okay. Oh.
It's interesting. It's interesting to watch, especially like during the summertime. It's really, interesting. It's like a hookup spot.
Well, okay.
It is. I mean, they come back and forth. Like I said, some people stay for a couple of days. They come from California, Florida,
Okay.
Connecticut, North Carolina. So it's a constant flow of traffic.
So I can send a letter to wherever if he has an offsite, even if he has an offsite address, and send a letter to him telling him to make sure to pick up behind his people. But okay, my brain is working now. Okay, you did your due diligence. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay. I only have a few more things and I'll turn it over. I know others have something to say. I understand that Delegate McCaskill has to pop out in a few minutes, so we got you. I want to check again and see if Shauna Watson is here. She is not. Okay, so one thing I've been trying to do throughout the year is, I don't know if anyone remembers, that we needed a new attorney. And the previous attorney had some kind of, he was a Nazi sympathizer, so I didn't think it would make sense for me to introduce myself to him. I thought we'd just find someone else. And we found someone who is interested in working with us. He is a former, he's a former resident of here. He grew up here. His name is James Todd. I want to say this is Hayes. And he's going to, what we're asking him to do is get us or help us write a move-in packet. I think it's called a move-in packet. And I've been getting questions about, do we have one? Do we have one? And I never had, and I was like, no, I didn't know what it was. And eventually, when I looked it up, I actually found him. He's a real estate attorney and who just happened to once upon a time live here and is really excited about potentially working with us. And I wanted to get some of our paperwork together so that we can make sure that what we say is what we mean. So in the new year, the plan, well, this is the new year, we plan to go after, because I think some of the covenant violations are just kind of, yeah, it's not good. We're gonna start cracking down on those, and we want to get our paperwork tight and want to get a move-in packet so that when people start to move in, they can sign something acknowledging that they've been told that they know they're a part of this association. I get a lot of, I didn't know, from people who've been here for years and years and years. Also found out, I don't know if I said this in the last meeting, but I found out that not paying dues can go on your credit report. I know a lot of people when you refinance or when you move, we definitely we go after those late dues. Otherwise, we're just waiting on me to send a letter to say, hey, dues are late. But so I got a call from a resident. She said she'd been living here, I think, since 2005. Her realtor told her that the association was not mandatory, it was just voluntary. And I had to inform her that it wasn't. And she needed to know why we were on her credit report. And it turned out her bank put us on her credit report. She went to refinance. I remembered it. I had a note on it and it wasn't paid and they put it on her credit report. I think that's going to be fun in the future. But hoping that Mr. Heiss, hoping that he and we are willing to kind of work together. He's asking for a little bit of change to, well, De Niro's dollars to just look at the paperwork. So we wanted to see if we can save that money a little bit. And you know, if there's no output, if he's just looking at it, I look at it for free all the time. So we just want to see if I can tell him what's on there. I can write him a summary or what have you. But yeah, the amount that he's asking for it's a bit much, and all he's saying is I'll look at it. So we have him, and hopefully we'll start rocking and rolling and getting things on, kind of forcing people to put those storm doors up and change the colors of those porches and those rails and just get everything uniform again. Nikki, on this topic, your hand is raised.
Hi, no, my time is on the dues.
Okay, step in. Okay.
Usually I receive like a end of the month invoice with the mail-in self-addressed envelope to mail, my dues back. I haven't received one this year.
It was
Well,
in the
2020.
newsletter. We put them in the newsletter.
Oh,
I want to say it was the spring newsletter. I think it was the spring newsletter. We put it in the newsletter. But hey, another one is coming soon. So, we also in the board meeting, one of the board members suggested that we do a reminder, like in the middle of the year, a reminder for the dues. So you can submit the dues. You can use PayPal, which there's a fee for that, or you can put a stamp on a. You can put a stamp on the envelope and send it to P.O. Box 21150, Catonsville, Maryland 21228. There's the address you can send it to. You send a check or money order, you can make it payable to EHCA Inc. Yeah, check or money order, or you can catch me at home all week and drop it in my mailbox. That works too. That'll save you a envelope and a stamp. Envelopes
and
cost you.
do we get a receipt if we drop it off in your
I
mailbox?
am doing receipts. I am doing receipts. Going to send them for last year and this year. We are doing receipts. Email me about your balance, and I can tell you what it is. It's the email address that you got the link for this meeting from, president.ehcaonline@gmail.com.
And I can also email to get your address as well if I'm going to drop it in your mailbox.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. I surely go ahead and online. Yeah, and that'll be just fine. And just for my phone number is, and like I said, I'm at home working from home all week. And for the most part, if you're gonna drop it in my mailbox, text me, let me know you dropped it in there. I'll get it immediately. I don't like anything hanging around, anything like that. And then I'll take care of a receipt. I'll email you to let you know I got it, but then I'll also send receipts too. I got the paper ready. I just gotta throw together, hey, thank you for your payment. That's it. So
is it still $20? I'm sorry. Is it still $20?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is. Okay. What else about the dues? Yeah, I'll let you know how much. At some point, the paying through PayPal, the cost is going to go up because we're kind of losing. But yeah, we check the mailbox. I think I'm checking. I was going to say I'm checking the mail tomorrow, but I don't
I have
know.
one other question. Do we have a way to Zelle it or no?
You can Zelle it.
Oh,
Yes.
can we Zelle it to you?
You can Zelle it. You can use the email address I just put in right there.
Oh, great.
Yep. I dropped the email address right there in the chat. You can Zelle it. Make sure that the address associated with the payment is on there. Zelle, there's PayPal. Oh, I did say PayPal, but yeah, Zelle is, as we know, I think it's free. We're with Bank of America. Okay. Anybody else on this? Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Guys, not last week, on the 15th, I attended a meeting. Well, actually, after, I think I told you guys in the last meeting, I explained that I was going to attend a meeting because I don't want to call them a company, and an organization, Neighbor Space, wanted to invest grant money in the Edmondson Heights Park. So they had a meeting on the 15th. I attended the meeting. I'm not going to go back in and talk about how great the food was. The food was really good. It was not meatballs, but I love meatballs. But the one thing that I realized is that they are serious. Neighbor Space, they get together and they collaborate with other agencies. And from there, they call themselves Be Green. And they are working with 2 parks, they're funding 2 parks in the county, 2 parks in the city. And I met with, I think, 1 other park that really has some huge issues. And then I had to stand up and say, I didn't know we had a park. But they are very interested in seeing the park, I mean, and investing in it. However, which is not necessarily, the however is not bad, but however, they are more interested in our park than we are. They're more interested in our community than, I'll say, most of us. I'm sorry. They're really interested. They went, you could see, I'd say this is where the park is, and they'd all go on their phones and try to find. It was just, they want to come help us clean up. They want to come help us do all of these things. And I don't think that the cleanup part is that serious. To have someone come in and clean up behind homeowners. Because in the end, that's no matter how many renters we have on the property and people who don't, we are a community of homeowners. And I wouldn't, and I just said, okay, thank you. But I don't want that to be necessary, if I'm being frank. And they've said they'll come in and they'll remove the vines from the park, and something I've never heard. I know people who love to take down vines. I've never heard that before. They really, I was sitting in the meeting and I went, what have I gotten into? Because they are serious. Basically just making green space better. And what I ask of us, it basically, they asked me to put together a team. I'm asking us to find it in us to somehow become a team. And let's have things that we would like to use this park for, this space for. I didn't say, the one thing that I didn't want to, the area to become something that is populated a lot. Because I don't think the space is safe. I don't know if you've been down there, but it's a down there. I don't think it's very safe for people to, be in the nighttime, or just, I'd rather it stay a quiet place, but also it's a usable place. And I'm moving forward with it because I know that it will help the value of our property. The investment would be really good for us and good for our diversity also, because there'll be people who want to live around green space. We've asked Parks and Rec to be a part of things, and they attended the first meeting, but not the second meeting that was an in-person meeting. I don't expect any, if someone else is putting money into them, I don't expect Parks and Recs to say no to anything, but I'd like for them to say yes to the things that we've asked them to do. And over the year, we've seen them go in and kind of do some mowing down there and push, hopefully they're pushing some of the overgrowth back. I did mention that people go down and walk their dogs. I did mention that. And for that, I've wanted to make sure that they don't plant something that Susie, I already volunteered you. And welcome back, Susie. I'd like for them to test the soil, make sure it's okay for the dogs to be down there. Whatever they put down, and they're basically gonna put like pollinators, things that attract bees, and it's got to be mapped out and landscape this whole thing. But I definitely do think that it should be good for people to feel free to walk their dogs down there. And it's in, I have a plan here somewhere that I was working on, but I definitely mentioned that because my concern is what type of soil, is the soil okay? Because somewhere down the line, someone said that maybe the soil is not safe, but I want to make sure. I want to make sure that if there's water down in the stream, that the water is somehow safe for the deer. They come out because there's nothing to drink or there's nothing to eat, or mainly I think drink, but we want them to stay down there. We want the wildlife that's down there to stay down there. Overall, we've asked the county we've had Parks and Rec for a couple of benches around the park. I've asked around the perimeter of the park. The inside is still, I just want it to be safe. I want whoever goes down, I want daytime, I want it to be safe. I don't encourage anyone to go down at night. I think the space where the elementary school is open and maybe safer. On the side of the basketball court, there's a huge field there. I think it's more in the open. This is just me. This is just me thinking. Also, yes, with the picking up after your dogs, what I'm considering, and I'll put some facts and figures and everything together and bring it to the board, but I'm writing the newsletter and I'm adding in there that people or someone suggested that we use some of the dues money to put waste containers for dogs. And we spoke here before and it made a lot of sense. If you're going to own a dog, there's things that come with owning a dog, and picking up behind the dog is a thing. Sorry, it's a part of the job. One thing I'd like to see if we can do is at least put out bags. When I say one thing that's good, I feel like now we're just going to have bags all over the neighborhood. And there are people who just, I can't help seeing one without the other, because I have to anticipate these things. So I'm going, now we're going to see bags everywhere. And I don't want to do that. I also think that there's containers, and I got one because now I have a dog, and containers where you can just put the bags in there, and once it's full, you take the bags and put it in the trash, and it goes out with the trash. What about the bag posts with the trash cans connected? That's what I think we may be talking about the same thing. I'm not sure. But the issue with putting containers with putting receptacles for the waste is that somebody's got to pick it up, or somebody's got to clean it. Somebody's got to take care of it. And I'm not volunteering for that one. And the thing is, it's like, even pet owners aren't going to go, yeah, the one that's near my house, yeah, I'll take the bag and put it in the trash with my trash. I just don't trust that that's going to be a thing. It's anything that could go wrong will. I will say that last night I was looking at signs, do not litter signs. and I'm trying to get the best price pretty much that I can and put them at the bus, at least at the bus stops. As I'm walking through the neighborhood, I see that there's people easily at the corners, people are dropping stuff, and I see at bus stops. I think I think the signs I'm looking at say, take them with you, take your trash with you. Just really want to all over do like spray paint signs on the curbs that say, thank you for keeping Edmondson Heights beautiful or clean, or just a reminder that, I mean, I think it's probably homeowners too, who just get out of the car and dump their Burger King bag or Chick-fil-A bag. Chick-fil-A would not like that, I'm just saying. Upgrade the ones in the park first. I'll take a look at that, Mike. Yes, especially on Sunset. I do agree. All along, yeah, I definitely agree. So I think, yeah, we'll figure out where, aside from the bus stops, put some signs out that just say, you know, take it with you. And it's because where there's already a post, those are the places that I'm looking to put the signs, and we just drop the nail in them, the screw in them, and screw them on there with the other signs. But I'm gonna get prices for that, and if anyone knows a location where they think one should be, let me know. Send me an email or a text, and I'll add it to the list so that I can see how many. Because right now they're looking like a little bit under $25 a pop. I'm still looking though. I'm still looking just to get more bang for our buck. I'm not just trying to spend money. I'm not. Susie, is your hand up? Go for it. You're on mute.
Okay. The signs that are there, do they belong to the county? We have the do not litter signs. Remember the ones that were all grown over in the park?
In the park, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking throughout the neighborhood. Those belong to the county, but
any chance of us getting them to redo those as a start?
We can ask
Margaret.
We can ask Margaret, but it's the park, so I'm thinking
Parks and Rec.
Yeah. Do not litter. I also, and I keep missing the deadline for the Keep Maryland Beautiful grant, which is the deadline for it is, I think, like the end of November, to get the grant. It just for things like littering, anti-littering, and beautification of the neighborhood. So anything that I can get that can wait for that, I want it to wait, but I do want to just kind of go full force with the littering. I don't think that it's necessarily fair that we have Jean Cease out here just picking up trash because she loves the neighborhood and she thinks it's a horrible thing. And I've been out walking the dog and brought trash home with me, and just, because it looks bad. It looks bad and it is bad, and we are homeowners and we don't want that. And we know it's not our trash, but it still affects us. It's our property, it's near our property. It looks like we are okay with having people just throw trash everywhere. And we're not. This is a beautiful neighborhood. This is beautiful. The mobility bus, parking pile on the street with drivers right there. Yes. Yeah, I see you, William. So, yeah, so I think I'm just gonna do an anti-littering campaign as best as I can. I wanna wait for somebody else's money to help out, but I still wanna we live here. And this year and moving forward, I think it's time that, I mean, it's been a lot for me to do, which is why we haven't done things like the covenant violation suite. And then we didn't have an attorney at the time, but things that just put us back on the right path. We have to be on the path that's set in front of us before we can have a path that's more strict, Miss Nancy. Because I do understand, I see where strictness is desired. I do see it. How well I can do that, I don't know, but I do see it. And once we get this attorney and see what we can do as far as enforcing the guidelines or get him to help us enforce the guidelines, I'd like to see us do that first and then see how we can tighten it up a little bit. The board, I don't know if you guys, if we discussed this last meeting, but we have a new vice president, and that is Mrs. Angela. Angela is great. Angela, are you here? There's an Angela here.
Yes, I'm here.
We have Miss Angela Lloyd, who is our new vice president, who I look forward to working with, because she don't play. She does not play. She is for real about her stuff, and I appreciate that. Anything you want to say, Angela, before?
Other than that white Ford truck that's up at the top of Granville, I did call about that on last week, and the officers did come out and put a ticket on it. So I was trying to give them a grace this week because the ticket is now gone and they're still parked there. So I might have to put in another call for that.
Yep, time for another ticket. Tickets add up. Officer Helfenstein, I just saw you went off mute.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. Yeah, but yeah, Angela, let's go ahead and put let's get another ticket.
Yeah, and also, Jaquisa, I did put in a call to the office, to 911 on last, I think it was Sunday. There was a vehicle that was parked there for over 3 hours. And I called the 911, and the officers actually did come out and did question the individual, which happened to be a neighbor that lived down the street. And I can hear them discussing it with the officer. And I'm not quite sure what the protocol is with that, but when the individual asked who called, the officer flashed his flashlight up to my address to identify that it was me that called. Really? I don't have a problem with it, but I'm just thinking for safety.
That's dangerous.
Reasons, you don't want individuals identifying that, oh, this is the house that will call. Now, not that I have a problem with it, because I will. I just think 3 hours sitting out in a car is past ridiculous. And you don't know what the person's intent is, especially if you're sitting out there. Like one individual got from the back seat, then went into the front seat. So you knew there was nothing good about the scenario that was playing out here. Like I didn't see it the entire 3 hours, but just back and forth. 3 hours in front of someone's door doing whatever is unacceptable.
Yeah, and it's loitering.
Yeah, because in this stretch of the park is where, when they're in this area, in this part, they will leave their debris and trash and whatever. And I go out and the other neighbors go out and clean it up. So I just prefer that they did not sit out and use it as a receptacle. And there is no receptacle there, so they just leave it on the ground.
What do you think about some signs? Let's say if there's signs on, well, everybody lives on a street, about because we don't have the neighborhood watch, because we don't get enough people interested in neighborhood watch. We can get signs that say that the area is being surveilled. It doesn't matter who called.
I think it would be a good thing, but it's if there's not enough coverage in that area where someone is actually thinking that, okay, fine. I think my house may have been identified as an individual that may have cameras because it's for my safety. Other neighbors in next door to me and probably up the street may have cameras there, but the cameras only go but so far. We can't actually identify and give a descriptive identification of the individuals or the cars that are outside doing whatever, because like I mentioned before, just a stretch that the individuals will come and sit for hours in this area, and then they'll depart off, and then they leave their tree and debris and whatever just in this stretch. Now I'm imagining that they do it up and down Granville, but what I have noticed is directly across from where I am is the actual point where I don't know whether or not they have been told, but to me, it just seems like, oh, go sit right there. It'll be okay. That's how it appears to me.
Okay. Officer Benz Clark or Officer Helfenstein, do we need to make a request that the caller not be identified? I know when I call the police, I say I don't want
to. Yes, when she calls, she can request to be anonymous. And if you don't, then sometimes they could, but they probably should not be telling the complainant.
Absolutely. I don't believe they should be telling and then flash the light up. I was like, really? I'm like, okay, because
I will definitely take that complaint back to patrol and let them know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Guys, I am still working on the newsletter. Yeah. It's gonna be one of those double issues like People Magazine. I'm gonna try to put as much as I can in there, but I'm gonna try to get it done as soon as possible. Yeah, and the invoices for 2023 dues will go out in those. Yeah, that's all I have for tonight. Anybody got anything else?
Decreased, I have one more idea for the newsletter, and I can talk with you later concerning it. That's it.
Sure. Okay. Speaking of, yes. Hey.
I'm sorry. Hi, this is Neoma. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm not sure whose idea it was, but I really appreciate the Christmas card. And I was talking to a neighbor. She really loved it too. And I wanted to say thank you. I really liked it. So it was whoever's idea it was, I really appreciate it. And I'm sure other people, also appreciated it.
Thanks to Krista. I thought it was a great idea too.
Thank you. I thought it was a good idea, and I want to say like the least we could do, so it took me in my which one, and it's what size paper and it was like, if y'all just send me these cards, but I'm glad you liked them. I thought they would just, I'm really glad.
It put a smile on my face. Thank you.
Thank you. That was
Did everybody get cards?
Yeah, I finally got mine.
I didn't.
Yes, I got one and they were very nice. It was a good gesture.
Okay, well, I'm gonna wait. Thank you.
So I had 3, Michael.
I got a card.
I got one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Bronzella, yours, Michael's, and
it was a New Year's card.
It was a New Year's card there. Yours were the last 3 to go out because my intention was to write a note of personal thanks on yours, and they just they were sitting to the side, and I was like, I'm just gonna send them. And I think it was, it's a New Year's card. Happy New Year.
Thank you anyway.
Yes. I'm glad you guys like them. I want in the new year for the board to be more visible. And for all of us as much as we can, so that the community can have access to all of us. I do understand I'm okay with being the primary person to access. I'm good for being the go-between or the middleman in issues like, hey, there's something happening on the street. I'm okay with being this is the person that called. I'm okay with that. I don't know why, but I'm okay. I feel like it's my job. If I have to, it's a part of my job, and to keep down confusion and all of those things. Yeah, that's at the next board meeting, Mike. You bring that up again. So, and I do understand Mike is saying he wants to bring up at the next board meeting that the community signs say that kind of like to have ownership, or say that the president is, so that people don't think that it's just a community sign. We're a covenant, we're a covenant controlled community. And I definitely wanted to, if I didn't do it already, put down what covenant controlled means in the newsletter. So that people understand that there's an association at work here. I'm gonna let Michael bring that up in the meeting and see what the board says. I'm with whatever they say. But I want us to be, the board to be just, we're out here. We are out here, and I think you guys need to see us more and identify us. So, and know that we're not just, if we are just, then we want to kind of come from behind closed doors a little bit and just step it up just a little bit. I did explain that to the board when I asked, are you guys sure you want to be with me for another year? Because these are the ideas that I have. But I definitely, yeah, I want us to be out there, and I want you guys to see us, and I want you guys to feel comfortable with, if you see us out, to say you've noticed something or what have you. I don't walk out of the house with a t-shirt on that says president. Kind of don't want to, but we got to do something. And I do try to introduce myself when I'm out and I'm around, so that people know that I'm not just standing in front of your house for nothing. So I think the last thing for me is no, I'm not gonna say that, never mind. But yeah, that was reeled it in. Yeah, I want the new year to be something that you guys can look at us at the end of the year and say that we've accomplished something, or we've done just a little bit better. Yeah, so those are my goals for the new year, and I'll try to be clearer about those coming up. So if nobody else has anything.
It's a hand up on one of the numbers not identified by name.
Yes, hand up. Okay, it's not Elvette. There's a hand up. Miss Barzella, go for it.
Will we get a newsletter soon?
Ish?
Soonish.
Yes.
Okay. Will I be helping sending them out?
Yes.
Okay.
Please. Yes. Because in the past, I've kind of gone, oh, I've got these, and I'm gonna stop doing that.
Okay.
And they're gonna have the invoices that go inside of them, and the envelopes that go with them. So
okay, good.
Okay. So
Great.
yeah, I'm working on the newsletter. I want to make it compact, but I want to get information out there, and I don't want to skip the fall newsletter. I just want to kind of put them together somehow and get them out to everybody. But yes, I have just been, normally I've been Yeah, they're here. So I'll just start folding them and I do have to stop doing that because I do have other stuff to do. So yes, William.
I just wanted people to know tomorrow is a very, very important day. Tomorrow is the day that Louis Braille was born. And so Louis Braille was a person that actually created Braille, which is how blind people read books and stuff like that. And I just wanted people to know that it's a very important day. Our presidential release for the National Federation of the Blind is happening tomorrow.
Yes.
So, in
William
case
S-
people didn't know who Louis Braille was, he was born there in France, but he created Braille, which is what is important for my wife to read.
Yes.
So,
And you work for the National Association for the Blind.
National Federation of the Blind. Yep.
I had it wrong, but I tried. You can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, we will. Mike makes it your job to come up with little known facts in the next meetings. But that is it for me, guys. I'm glad you guys hung in here with me. As always, if there's anything that you need, anything you want to discuss, or anything you want to bring up, anything you think should go in the newsletter, if you have an idea, if you have a thought, I am, I think I put all of my information in here, so I am reachable. And you all can go home. No.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you
Thanks,
guys for
Carissa.
coming. Thank you.
Good night, that's it.
I don't have control of my mouse anymore. So
Leave meeting.